Let's talk through all these golf events that you have coming up.
Gabby, I'm glad you asked. Got my calendar right here. July 17th at Red Run, and then July 31st, I have the American Golf Outing for the Cancer Society.
I also have the American Cancer Society golf outing on the 31st, and also I got yours on the 18th, but he'll
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Boys, these are a lot of events and golf outings.
Well, you want me to miss my own golf tournament?
Gabby, they're all great colors.
I mean, this is...
Hold on. I got this. Guys, I got this. Don't worry about it. Hold on a second.
He always...
Hey guys. Thanks for coming so fast. How are ya? Remember the guys from Randy Wise, right? Sir. The Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
Watch for the eye.
Stay tuned.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much. Brought to you in part by Premier Security Solutions, Fairway Packing Company, and Swiss Insurance. Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com. Hello Friday, everybody. That is right, a getaway Friday right before the Memorial Day weekend. Welcome in, everybody, to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name, Neal Ruhl. That guy, Sam Flannel, in for D-Mac. So you know what that means? We got BMG with his Viper sweatshirt on. He is here in the house. That's a tight sweatshirt, by the way. I have the T-shirt inspired by the Vipers. We have Spenmo Racks in the building as well. We have all of you on the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Remember to jump in there, get your thoughts in there. Flannel, what's popping?
You know, when I said that the Celtics were going to come back and win this thing, I wasn't just saying stuff just for the hell of it. It's really looking like that's a very strong possibility of happening. The pressure of the world is on Miami. The Celtics are coming back and winning this thing. I said it before, and I'm sticking by it.
Coin flip, according to the bookmakers. It's a coin flip.
With Miami at home,
Well, it stands to reason, Flannel. They will win Game 7. Miami already won 2 games in Boston.
Sure.
So, law of averages tell you they are done winning in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
So they really have these 2 cracks at home. Now, they bobbled the one. Last night, they shot it well. They're in trouble because they shot it well, but they turned it over 16 times. You don't shoot it well every single game.
They turned it over 16 times, and guess who also shot well? The Boston Celtics. Derek White and Marcus Smart were out of their minds from 3. That's what I always say. Shooting luck is a thing, especially when it comes to the role players. When Derek White and Marcus Smart are draining threes like that, they're one of the best teams in NBA history.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen all the time, but you know what? Celtics are a better three-point shooting team overall. Everybody regresses to the mean at some point.
Yeah, and that's fine. But, the bottom line is, people don't really give a shit about that today, so we'll touch it. It is a Big Package Friday. When I say a Big Package Friday, I mean the biggest packages you have ever seen in the history of Detroit sports broadcasting. We are going wire to wire with nickel packages. NFL,
Yes, sir.
Detroit Lions, NBA, NHL playoffs. I have a special Memorial Day one that we're going to do in a couple seconds right here. We're even going to do a Memorial Day nickel package. College football, wall-to-wall packages, Spenmo.
It's electric.
It is electric. It is, and everybody is fired up about it. We are ready to go. Booner says the thumbnail got me. You guys are clowns back there, bro.
That's what it's all about.
You guys are absolutely clowns, but it is funny, though. I do like it. Jeremy Anderson, a baseball one. Nah. We'll see. If time allows, we'll see. We'll get into one. Memorial Day, though. As we know, we no live show. It's a best of show on Monday. We get a holiday, too, for Christ's sake. Holiday. We get one of those, too. So we are going to do that. But, Flannel, look. Across the country, you see it today in traffic. Nobody's doing anything.
Nope.
The coffee shop's packed. Everybody's getting their hair cut at Lady Jane's here in Birmingham. Nobody's doing anything. It's pretty apparent. So, let's get into it. Memorial Day weekend. Obviously, everybody's stoked for it and ready to go. You guys ready for Memorial Day nickel package?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Number 1, everybody, the Memorial Day nickel package. This one's more aimed towards Spenmo, but I look for all of you to jump in. How early is too early to start drinking on the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend?
There is nowhere too early. Eyes open, beer in the hand. That's what it's all about.
So you're on that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, though, because remember, the Sunday is the most electric day of Memorial Day weekend because it's found money, number 1. You're getting a Sunday that's basically a Saturday where you don't have to work the next day at all. It's easy to get caught up. BMG, what say you? How early is too early to start drinking the Sunday Memorial?
There's not a time.
Not a time.
You can just go. Whenever you wake up, just go. Sunday.
Kevin Bell says before noon is too early.
Quitter.
It's aggressive, man.
Well, a lot of people are going on the boats and stuff. Normally, you're starting early anyways.
Yeah, you got a tea time.
Yeah.
Starting on the first hole.
No,
You
well,
have
no
a
doubt.
tea-
Yeah, that's
you have
different.
A tea time, don't you, Neal?
I do, as a matter of fact.
What time are you
This
starting
chair
on
will be
Sunday?
spinning at 12:59.
Nah.
Spinning. You'll say, "Let's go to Neal." Neal, where'd you go? Flannel, what say you? How early is too early on this Sunday? Remember, you got to go through Monday too.
Oh, yeah.
I would say 30 minutes after you wake up, no matter what time that is. Here's the thing. At Woodward Sports, for example, we don't get a lot of holiday Mondays off, so this is one of the rare occasions where you can drink on a Sunday and not have to worry about coming into work the next day.
Right.
So
Take advantage.
As early as possible, but not like right when you get up. We're not animals. Come on now.
Yes, we are.
Nick Lucido says, "Big Package Friday, Neal. Let's go." So it is out there as well. But yeah, I'm in that time frame too. Like, if you want to drink in the morning, drink in the morning. How early you start, though, will dictate how the day progresses. You know,
Start with some mimosas.
right. But at that point, you're really gonna space things out. You know what I'm saying? For you, though, space them out for you. Even
Yeah.
you do have to space it out, I think, to some degree. Number 2 of the special Memorial Day nickel package. I told you it's a big package Friday, so we are in there. Number 2, be honest. I know they're a part of the Memorial Day fabric, but do hot dogs enter the picture when you're grilling this weekend? Spenmo?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Toss a couple glizzies on the grill. Nothing wrong with that.
You eat them while you're grilling, don't
I'll
you?
eat a glizz, yeah.
That's the only reason you put them on there,
Yeah,
right?
they cook up fast, get some char on them, and then throw them on a bone and mustard down the hatch.
While you're flipping the burger
Oh,
still.
yeah.
All right, BMG.
Yeah, hot dogs.
Hot
for sure.
dogs enter the picture for
Yeah,
real. Like if
yeah.
you're grilling,
Yeah, for sure.
Flannel.
Absolutely, man. Hamburgers and hot dogs is just such
Got to.
a staple of any event where it's good for grilling. So absolutely hot dogs. But then again, you could do hot dogs, chicken, burgers, steak, all of the above. But hot dogs will enter the picture.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Corey Berry says sausages. I agree. Like the hot dog has.
That's just bougie.
The hot dog is not in the picture anymore when I grill. It's
Wow.
not. We're gonna go Italian sausage.
You leveled up.
Are you going to have one on the turn today, though? You got to have one on the turn.
If I will if it's all they have. You know what I'm saying? If they have like an Italian sausage or a brat, I will go that road. I'm
No
going to tell you.
way.
Yes,
Glizzy
I
on
will.
the turn is essential, man.
Don't forget where you came from, Neal.
Yeah.
Ransom says for the kids. Brat's getting a lot of run. So
Hot dog load of kids.
yeah. No, but brats are getting a lot of run, as you might expect, and I agree. I'm more of a brat person myself. LFG Sam, the responsible married guy, I endorse that. Drink responsibly. Tori Smith, how come you'll never get to talk about Detroit City FC, their greatest story in professional sports? I just got on them, born and raised in Detroit. Wow, Tori, we talk about them. We have guys from the team on.
Yeah.
They come through the studio every now and then and stuff like that. So stay tuned to Big D Energy. I haven't noticed you in the chat thread before, so stay tuned to Big D Energy. We get into it. We certainly do. By the way, 4 o'clock tomorrow, TV 20. I'll have the call for you, so feel free to tap in on that. Steve-O, baby. Hell yeah, Neal, especially Coney dogs, right, Spencer?
Fuck yeah.
You put some chili on there,
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Big Package Friday continues. Chromium says big fat steaks. Well, obviously. Rack says, I'll be at the Detroit City game tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. Detroit Dabber 313, doubleheader. Yes. USL Women's League team will be playing after that, so pull on up to keyword tomorrow
Pull
if
up
you
on me.
get a chance. What do we got? We're number 3. As a follow-up to number 1, revisiting number 1, is it okay to go with the hard seltzers while the sun is still out?
I'm not a seltzer guy.
Is it okay, though?
It's okay, yeah. I'm not going to judge you if you drink a seltzer.
Are you not really?
No, you drink what you want. I don't care. I mean, whatever floats your boat. I'm just not really a seltzer guy. I like the high noons. Those are the only ones that I will drink. But like White Claws and Trulies give me like heartburn.
See, I'm on the Topo Chicos now.
Never heard of that.
Yeah. Pull up on them.
Yeah.
Pull up on them.
That's because high noons are made with actual vodka, while like the Trulies and the White Claws are malt liquor.
Essentially beers.
Yeah.
They're essentially beers. What do you got on it, Gentry?
Oh, I like seltzers. Yeah, while the sun's up, it doesn't matter. You can drink whatever you want. If I'm drinking beer, it's usually like Coronas, but I'll dabble with some high noons here and there. So.
All right. See, there you go. Where are you at on it? It's Flannel.
I think it's okay. I mean, don't seltzers in a way taste better with the sun's up? They make more sense. I just think I'm like Spenny. Anybody can drink what they want and have a good time as long as they're having fun and enjoying themselves. I'm not going to judge what people drink.
Yeah, we don't gatekeep.
Yeah.
No. Soft
not.
Jones says seltzers are great for drinking on the job. They are, as a matter of fact. Low key.
Spencer knows all about that.
Speaking of that,
Facts.
Speaking of that, the trip to Disney, like the pilgrimage to Disney, when I went to the grocery store, I got a box of the White Claw Surges. You know, I'd never had them before, and I wanted to try them. And they had a lime one. And I'm big team lime on the seltzer.
Is it like energy drink?
No, it's like a spin-off, like a more flavorful, like a higher end White Claw, I guess you could say. And I'm team lime, like lime all the way. Lime, White Claws, lime everything.
Bud
I
Light
love
Lime's pretty good.
it. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It is not bad.
I like Bud Light Lime.
Just don't send them, guys. I don't want to hear it. Drink what you want.
Yeah.
Okay?
Do whatever you want.
I do like that, though. Seltzer's great for drinking on the job. I did pour one in the Dixie cup and had it on the bus over to the Magic Kingdom at 10:30 a.m.
That's what it's all about. It's like, I feel like seltzers are like the PG-13 Four Loko. Like, real ones remember the Four Lokos.
Oh, Four Lokos.
I've shotgunned some Four Lokos in my time.
You've shotgunned Four Lokos?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
And you're here to tell the
Yeah.
tale.
Yeah.
Aaron Stoner says Natty Daddies all day, every day.
Daddies?
Back in my canoe days.
All right, I'll judge you if you're drinking a Natty Daddy. I'm not going to lie.
Everyone went through that
Back in my
stage.
canoe days, when I had a different physical stature, I did have a case of Natty Daddies in a canoe day.
Those are gnarly.
Saturday morning till early Sunday morning.
Natty Daddies are gnarly.
They are, no doubt. Broder, Four Lokos were the truth. Best pregame.
Oh, for
Thank
sure.
you, Broder.
For sure.
Dirty Dr. D, Lime White Claws are fire. They are, and I don't care. I don't give a
best
shit what you
flavor.
guys say.
That's the
I'm
best
gonna drink
flavor.
one today, and I don't care.
Yeah. Do
And
what you want.
you as Spenmo said, we're not gatekeepers around here. Oh man, look at this. We're already falling behind on the
yeah.
pace. Number 4, the Memorial Day nickel package. Am I soft? I have the fireplace on the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Am I soft that I've converted to the Duralast fire log, like that compacted, like sawdust log that you just light the bag and walk away?
No, that's an easy one.
Them mugs burn clean
Yeah.
and strong the whole time.
You throw some on top of it and forget about it.
Dude, and I don't have to mess with it with the stick or anything like that. I don't have to put more wood on the fire. Am I soft? BMG, you laughed. Am I soft?
No, dude, it don't fucking matter.
Technology.
As long as that fucking thing's burning, who cares? You know?
You need a
Keep that-
BMG in your I feel
keep
like
that
BMG
thing
doesn't
burning.
care about anything.
No,
Keep that
he's
thing
chill.
burning.
He's
Who
chill,
cares?
I'm salty, says very soft. If you shotgun Mad Dog 2020.
I think you're an animal if you shotgun Four Lokos. I mean, they taste so bad, some of them. Like
Yeah.
the fruit punch, ugh. To get the job done.
Yeah, you are an absolute animal. All right, we're already falling behind. I got to get this on the rails. The oldest bit, number 5. Where does Up North start?
I have to do this.
You're gonna do it on a map. All right. Well, that's Houghton Lake.
Yeah.
Houghton Lake is up north.
So yeah, anywhere in the fingers.
Anywhere in the fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BMG,
Yeah, just like up there.
you're about the same.
Yeah.
Flannel.
In that area.
I'm gonna go with Mackinac Island. I know a lot of people aren't gonna like that, but
Jesus.
I'm a bit of a UP supremacist, and I love Mackinac Island. I think it's the most magical place on planet Earth. So that's just where I come from.
Okay.
Jesus.
What a weirdo.
I'm a UP supremacist.
That's
It's okay.
the most magical place.
Yeah.
Oh, Mackinac Island, it's electric.
Fingers and above.
Zilwaukee Bridge.
Okay.
if I had to power rank it, Zilwaukee Bridge is number 1. Number 2 is where 75 and 23 split.
Yeah.
What's that, Standish?
Bro, Brandon Katz, is anything sacred? Mackinac Island is overrated.
You know what? Mackinac Island is overrated.
Stop
it is overrated.
It's like just the ultimate fucking.
It's like
hater,
stepping
dude.
back in time. I love Mackinac Island. You can't
Like
make
stepping back
It
in
is like stepping
time.
back in time.
Like, what the fuck, Brandon Katz? Just be a good person for once in your life.
It is a
Like,
little overrated.
No, it's not.
Spenmo.
You're attacking takes on fucking.
You won't let
You
Sam
can-
breathe.
We got the goddamn Memorial Day nickel package. Brandon Katz in the chat attacking
Shooting it
takes.
down.
Like,
Joel
fucking
Dyer
calm
says
down,
absolutely
bro.
overrated. You know what? Before we go to the break, Woodward Sports chat poll it. Is Mackinac Island overrated? Yes or no?
No.
Don't put any little caveats in there to split votes. Yes or no? Is Mackinac Island overrated? I say it is.
I say absolutely
I
not.
say it is.
I don't know if it's the greatest place on earth, but I don't think it's overrated.
All right, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. The people are going to decide. That was just to wet your whistle a little bit. A big package Friday. When we come back, we do have some OTA takeaways with the Lions. We're gonna do one legit segment, and then we're rolling the rest of the way. Get in, everybody! It's a Getaway Friday, holiday weekend Friday. Sports marketing agency. They spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This Is the S Word, helps fight the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, thesportsma.com. Again, thesportsma.com, the sports marketing agency. They're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Off and running here, Big D Energy, Holiday Weekend Friday. Neal, Ruhl, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, BMG, Big Mike Gentry. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. When they subscribe, Spenmo, what's the next move?
5-star.
5-star that thing if you would be so kind. Ransom says, it's a great place to go if you have kids or on a date. Take a step back in time. Give Sam Flannel a top hat. Yeah, just go to Greenfield Village.
Again, and the most magical place on earth is a little bit of a stretch, but I like it. It's a good spot.
So we have it out on the poll right now. Is Mackinac Island overrated? 51% say yes.
Oh, Jesus. You guys have no imagination. Don't you want to go back in a place where you literally can't drive a car? You have to travel by horse or by bike or by on foot? It's like stepping back in time. It's a wonderful place.
And they got good fudge.
They do got good fudge.
Do they have those motorized scooters on there?
I actually don't remember. I didn't take them. I just walked everywhere.
The lime scooter or whatever it is.
If
I
we
don't think they
let
do.
like solar flare shuts off all technology on Earth, I'm down to ride horses everywhere. Riding horses would be sweet.
I think a man like you would do very well.
I've ridden horses before.
Real quick, some breaking college football, college news. Iowa Athletic Director Gary Barta is expected to announce his retirement.
Shout out. Shout out, Gary.
Hey, it's
Gary
good.
Bear.
It's a good day for Hawkeyes fans. I have some people around there, and they told me the guy that runs the Swarm, that's their Neal collective, they call it the Swarm for whatever reason, says that the AD refused to share any donor contact information with the collective.
Yikes.
That's always good for business.
Yeah.
So that's not the way this works anymore, guys.
Nope.
That's not the way that this works anymore. So OTAs for the Detroit Lions, and we had our guy, Matt Booner, was out there, and he was out there doing it up and doing it up big.
Broder's the man.
Yeah. Matt was out there getting it in, and, just from what he talked about, and the Jamison Williams thing was really the big takeaway I had from what Broder was talking about in there. spent most of his time going one-on-one with Cam Sutton.
Yeah.
Put him in the mixing bowl a time or two.
He did.
I like it.
No,
I like it.
Obviously, I like it too. Cam Sutton is the guy that's going to be the number one corner on this team. From what Broder said, it seemed like Cam Sutton held his own most of the time. But as the year goes on, as Jamison Williams gets more reps, trusts that knee more, I think he is going to consistently beat corners like Cam Sutton. And the fact that he embarrassed him on one play, I like it. I think it's a big deal. And another thing that Broder said about Jamison Williams is his ability to plant and change directions is elite. And I like that a lot too. To me, I had never seen anything quite like Jamison Williams in college, both as like a speed guy, as an over-the-top guy, but he was also a very, very polished receiver to me. That's why I think he can be as great as he is. That's why I think his ceiling is something like what Jalen Waddle was last year. And the fact that we're seeing flashes of it in camp, I think it's a big deal. I think he's going to be huge for this offense when he gets back on the field.
Wrapping up our WoodwardSports.com chat poll, is Mackinac Island overrated? 53% of you said yes. So there is that, and I believe that to be the case as well.
53% said no.
What are you talking about?
Look at that.
Oh, I flipped that around. My bad. 53%. Oh,
see
so
what you wanna see,
Spenmo did the thing where he chops it off when it favors him.
Cut it early. I hold the power.
Unreal.
I will say this, though. Yes, spent more time in the lead.
Well, it's not about who spends time in the lead. It's about who finishes in the lead.
I know, especially when you control when it finishes. I know all about that. But yeah, so that was one of the big takeaways that we saw. Jahmyr Gibbs, as on brand as what we expected, was kind of featured all over the offense, running back, slot, X receiver as well. So again, on brand for what we were told, and it looks like that's what we're going to get.
Yeah, there's no scenario in which Jahmyr Gibbs is a good pick, but he also doesn't play all over the field. What kind of struck me is that he spent some time at X receiver. I was thinking more he was going to be a running back and a slot guy, but especially with Jamison Williams missing 6 games, I do kind of question a little bit of their wide receiver depth at the beginning of the year. If Jahmyr Gibbs can actually be effective as an X receiver in game, and they can create matchup problems with him going against DBs or linebackers, it's huge for this offense. The fact that we're already seeing it in OTAs, I think it's a big deal. I really like to see that.
What do you got? Spenmo?
Nothing. I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay. Oh, man, I bet it's good.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
All right. Julian Okwara is coming off the edge more than playing linebacker. So this is just, when I read that sentence from the observations about Okwara, then I think that the Lions are probably okay with where they are right now from the edge position. Either that or they're giving Okwara the first audition for it, and then if they have to go to market, they will.
Sure, and Julian Okwara, when he's played at times, has showed flashes of being a very, very effective player. And the fact that we're seeing it in OTAs, I mean, to me, Julian Okwara, if he gives you anything, if he gives you maybe 5 or 6 sacks on the season and effective play from the edge rusher position, I would almost consider that a bonus. I think the edge rusher position is one of their strongest already, not even factoring in Julian Okwara. When you factor in his brother Romeo, maybe Charles Harris gives you something, John Kaminsky, obviously Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston. So if Julian Okwara can actually be an effective player and stay healthy, this could really, really do wonders for this Detroit Lions defense. This edge rusher position could be one of the stronger ones in the NFC, at least, if everyone hits their ceiling and stays healthy.
The write-up on Jack Campbell, and again, this is from our own Matt Broder, who's out there at the OTAs, was out there at the OTAs. Jack Campbell doesn't look like a rookie. He looks like a beast. There was a play that started near the opposite end zone where Jamar Jefferson, he's still with us, huh? That's cool.
Yep.
Broke past the second line of defense and sprinted to the opposite end zone. Campbell chased him the entire way, even after the play had been called dead. Never caught him, but was right there with him every step.
Yeah, and Matt Broder also used the word heat-seeking missile describing Jack Campbell, which I thought was huge. And that's the thing. When you saw him play at Iowa, you saw that he had a nose for the football. And I said before the season that he is going to be the best linebacker on this team from day one, or at least he should be. And that's given the fact that Alex Anzalone had a good year last year. Malcolm Rodriguez was an objectively great rookie linebacker last year. So Jack Campbell, seeing this, this seems on brand to me. This restores a lot of my faith, or confirms a lot of my faith, that Jack Campbell is going to be the real deal from day one, and at the very least play like a veteran, not like a rookie.
Graham Glasgow, why this is relevant here, I think, too, especially the way we've talked about Frank Ragnow as of late. A ton of work at center with the first team. Obviously, Ragnow with the toe situation, practice time's going to be touch and go, I would imagine, probably the rest of the season. Vaitai seemed to be the one filling in at right guard when Glasgow was in at center. So good to see Big V out there. Was really coming on, but before the back problems and everything that happened.
Yeah, at this point, at least last year, I'd kind of written off Big V as somebody who could actually contribute to this team later on in this season and the following seasons, because you hear back injury and you think it could be something that could be career ender. But if he actually plays like he did in 2021, and then Frank Ragnow, hopefully he stays healthy and Graham Glasgow doesn't have to play any center, then they're, 6 deep with quality offensive linemen? That's huge.
Amon-Ra St. Brown was one of the last to leave the practice field after getting extra reps from the jugs machine, working on his hands. The Goff to St. Brown combination looked like it was in, quote, mid-season form. Goff finds him all over the field, including with deep pass attempts as well. Goff, and for those of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread talking about like the second receiver, they will in Game 7. They will have their second receiver, number 1. But also, 2, the Josh Reynolds thing is real, everybody. And it was Broder's observation. You didn't see them pursuing any other wide receivers for this specific reason. The team has all the confidence that Reynolds can hold down the fort until Jameson Williams is back in Week 7. It's proven. They have a nice little thing going, Goff and Josh Reynolds. Again, I'm not concerned. I know everybody wants to shut it down because Jameson Williams is out till Game 7. They want to alter the way the franchise works. I'm not one of those people.
Well, no wide receiver in the history of the NFL has spent more time playing with Jared Goff than Josh Reynolds. I mean, Josh Reynolds had his career high in receiving yards in 2020 with Jared Goff as his quarterback. In 2021, when Josh Reynolds was added to the team, the offense really stepped up, and Josh Reynolds had over 300 receiving yards in 7 games. And last season, even while missing 3 games, Josh Reynolds was 4th on this team in receiving yards, and I think that if he would have played all 17 games, he probably would have been 2nd. Josh Reynolds and Jared Goff have that familiarity. They have that connection. Josh Reynolds is never going to be elite or even be a high-end number 2 wide receiver, but can he fill in? Can he do that job while Jameson Williams is out? I wouldn't put it past him, especially given the chemistry that Jared Goff and Josh Reynolds already have.
And for those of you asking about depth in the wide receiver room, you forget about TK85.
I knew that was coming. You know what? It wouldn't shock me if he actually makes the roster for the first 7 games, just because they need someone with Jameson Williams being out. I know they have Marvin Jones.
Especially on third down.
Hey,
big third down plays on the road.
He made a couple. And that's, especially against Chicago, that was big time. I never denied that. And
New York.
That's true, but, the full heroization of Tom Kennedy, that's what always gets me going. Detroit fans love to do that with mid players.
Well, Tom Kennedy is far from mid.
He's worse than mid.
No, he's not, because he was integral of 2 road wins. He was an integral part of 2 road wins.
He also had 8 catches on the season.
Yeah, and most of them were big, especially on third downs on the road to keep drives alive that they ended up getting points on. You can't deny that. You can't.
I didn't deny that, but you can't deny that he had 8 catches on the season. That's
you can try to
irrelevant.
minimalize it, but you can't deny it.
I can deny that he had a couple. I cannot deny that he had a couple of big plays.
You are allowed to try to minimalize it, but you can't deny the facts happened.
That's fair.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know, Sam Flannel. That's all I wanted to know. Hey, I was just at Lady Jane's. Went and saw Beth here at Lady Jane's World Headquarters in Birmingham. What about it, Sam Flannel?
Absolutely. I've actually seen Beth, too, and my goodness, my voice just cracked. But anywho, walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not 1, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, 1 for you and 1 for your wife, girlfriend, or best bud. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for DMAC, BMG, Big Mike Gentry. Of course, we have Spencer Racksta as well. Big Package Friday. We did a Memorial Day package. We're going to put all these packages out on the table today on Friday, and we are going to do it, and there's nothing you can do about it to stop it. Shall we kick off the rest of the show?
Let's do it.
Little Lions nickel package, 5 questions about your Detroit Lions.
About the Detroit Lions. First question of the Lions nickel package. Will Jack Campbell have the green dot by the end of the year?
That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot to put on the man's plate, dude. I'm not concerned with. I wouldn't expect that. It seems like a lot to me. We're already like, he's already Dick Butkus, isn't he?
I don't know about that.
Dick Butkus.
But I think a lot of that has to goes to the fact that this is, despite Malcolm Rodriguez being an all-rookie linebacker and Alex Anzalone having a good season, I think it's still a bottom half linebacking core in the NFL, probably bottom 10, but maybe bottom 5. And Jack Campbell, I think, clearly has the talent to be the best linebacker on the team. I agree with you, though. I'm not concerned with him being the play caller at the end of the season. I think it's still going to be Alex Anzalone, but maybe going into next year, Jack Campbell has the green dot.
Yeah, and I just want to see, it's one thing here at OTAs and stuff like that. Braylon Edwards and I have the same question. When you're out in space, when you're man up on a running back, on a wheel route or whatever, backside route, whatever it is, can you keep up? That's the question, and we're only going to know week 1.
Absolutely,
we're only going to know week 1, and that's going to be, and that's a fair question.
Of course, it's fair
because of the 40 time. It's a fair question. I don't hate Jack Campbell. I hate Iowa. I don't hate Jack Campbell. All that shit's over the second his name gets called. Now he's Detroit Lion Jack Campbell.
That's fair.
He's not Iowa Hawkeye Jack Campbell. He's Detroit Lion Jack Campbell.
And he's got to produce
like a first round pick has to.
Yeah.
Exactly. Second down.
Second down, next question on the Lions nickel package. Who will be the wide receiver 2 while Jameson Williams is suspended?
I think it is to Goff because, we do this a lot. I notice this in soccer a lot. People get caught up in formations and what they're playing a 4-4-2 to start. What kind of formation are you doing? When 4 minutes into the game, it switches, and it's all dependent upon what happens to you. I think the number 2 to Jared Goff, I think it will be Reynolds. I do. I mean, because we all have that. Spenmo is my guy in this respect. When Ish is going wrong and it breaks down back there, I know Spencer will come through. I know that. Jared Goff, when he's in trouble, he knows he's going to get the ball to Reynolds somehow, some way. That's his security blanket. That's what he's going to do. So we can get caught up in the titles all we want, but the bottom line is to Jared Goff, Reynolds will be the number 2.
I couldn't agree with you more. Jared Goff has had Josh Reynolds as one of his wide receivers for virtually his entire career. And one of the factors, I don't know if it was as big a factor as Ben Johnson or Amon-Ra St. Brown's breaking out or Anthony Lynn being fired, but also when Josh Reynolds came to the Detroit Lions, ever since then the Detroit Lions offense has been humming and Jared Goff has been playing some of the best football of his career. They have that familiarity, they have that chemistry. I think at least for short spurts, it can be Josh Reynolds. He's proven he can have some big-time catches and some very, very good and impactful games.
GW the Kid says exactly, Neal. I have that question about Jack Campbell, too. It's a fair question.
Sure.
It's an absolutely fair question to have.
Third question.
Brandon Katz says Josh Reynolds is not a starting receiver in the NFL. He will not be the number 2. He will be to week 7.
Yeah.
All right.
Third question of the NFL or the Lions nickel package. Will we see a first-team All-Pro on this Lions roster?
Should we or will we?
Will we?
Yes, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Ooh.
He stays healthy, does his deal where he's got 120 with 1,200 yards. And I know, Justin Jefferson's, I know the dudes that are out there at the receiver spot. But St. Brown already has that he's got that cachet going around the league. People know about Amon-Ra St. Brown. National people know about Amon-Ra St. Brown. I would say Penei Sewell is too, but you know how this works. You have to wait your turn for that.
I think it would be more likely for it to be Penei Sewell than Amon-Ra St. Brown. I will say no. And for the record, I can love Amon-Ra St. Brown and also say that there is a snowball's chance in hell that he's first-team All-Pro. There's Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, Steph Diggs, Tyreek Hill. They're all objectively better than him right now. Will Amon-Ra St. Brown be a first-team All-Pro someday? Sure. But I don't even know about that. The wide receiver position is just so deep and so talented in the NFL, and I am not diminishing Amon-Ra St. Brown in any way, shape, or form. It's first-team All-Pro, not Pro Bowl. Those are the elite of the elite.
No, I think he is the elite of the elite.
I don't know about that so far, but you know what? I still love him. He's great.
Yeah.
He's a star. Pro Bowler for sure.
I think he is the elite of the elite.
Okay.
He may be, outside of like Sewell, he may be the most valuable piece going forward for the Lions. Just what it entails, what him being on the field, the impact that it has on everybody and everything else.
You know what? I can agree with that.
So we'll have that discussion.
Sure.
We got a lot of time before the season starts. Fourth down.
Fourth down of the Lions nickel package. What position battle will you be watching the closest in camp?
I see, like, I saw that on there, and I don't. Is there a battle? Like, I don't know that there. The roles seem pretty defined, don't they?
Cornerback 2 could be a good battle to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. They're all going to play, though, especially in pass defense in today's day and age of the NFL and all of that. Like, I don't know. I don't really look at one. I think they're all basically set. I think now we're at the time, and from a roster perspective, I think we're at the time with Brad Holmes where it is about roster depth, right? Where you can take on an injury and keep it pushing.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you for the most part. I'm interested to just see how the defensive backroom battles each other this offseason and who actually gets the most playing time in the regular season. That defensive backroom is pretty damn loaded, at least depth-wise. Guys like Emmanuel Mosley, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Cam Sutton, drafting Brian Branch, Tracy Walker coming back, Jerry Jacobs. Who am I missing? Kirby Joseph.
You know what?
Yes.
I'll back that up. The Tracy Walker thing
Okay.
will have my attention because, like, bro, it's an Achilles.
It is an Achilles. And look who stepped up big in his absence. And they draft like Kirby Joseph.
Yeah.
And they drafted Brian Branch. He's a guy that...
And he's a big money guy, too.
It wouldn't be shocking if his role diminishes. If he's never quite the same player for the Lions again. Wouldn't shock me at all.
Michael Daniel on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, he actually brings up a good point. What about the kicker? I was told we're fine at kicker. We don't need a kicker.
We are fine at kicker.
I think we're fine at kicker.
So why are we giving away draft capital to get one that we had before?
Couldn't tell you.
I don't agree with that move. I think Michael Badgley was just fine.
So now in retrospect, would you be more supportive of my guy Moody in the third round, seeing as you essentially took Riley Patterson with the 7th round pick next year? You did do that. In a vacuum, not like...
No, I mean, who would we take? You saying Moody instead of Martin, or Moody instead of one of their third round?
I'm saying in a vacuum, like value for value.
I wouldn't be crazy. I wouldn't be mad about it, but I wouldn't be in love with it.
Okay. What would you like more, taking him with a 3rd round pick or trading a 7th round pick for Patterson?
7th round pick for Patterson.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I value draft picks too much.
Yeah, 7th round pick for Patterson. I agree with Spenny on that one. But I think Michael Badgley will be just fine. It's funny, when you watch him, when you kind of hear how he's talked about, I thought that there was a problem at kicker, but when you look at the numbers, he was very, very good. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were talking about Brandon McManus the other day.
He had better numbers than Brandon McManus.
Better at field goals and extra points. I know Brandon McManus has had a longer career, but Michael Badgley, he's fine. He's a very fine kicker, as Terry Foster would say.
A very fine local kicker.
Very fine local kicker.
Mike G in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Neal's fade be tight today. Hey, Lady Jane's.
Just got it.
Beth. Shout out to Beth. Lady Jane's. No doubt about that. Here in Birmingham. 5th down.
5th down. 5th question of the Lions nickel package. Can Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery be the second coming of Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And... you know what else they'll be? They'll be that at $7 million. As opposed to Kamara and his, 14, 12, 15, 14 he's at right now?
Yeah.
Like, yes. And if the answer is a hell yes when you break it down dollar for dollar.
Well, yeah, when you break it down dollar for dollar, the answer is hell yes. One thing that I was surprised about when I actually dug into the numbers is that Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram only really had 2 elite seasons together as a duo. And as I've always said, I'm not trying to discredit the man, but Alvin Kamara has never had an 1,000-yard rushing season in the NFL, ever. And I think that David Montgomery is a guy that when it's all said and done might have a better career than Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram was never really a star. David Montgomery hasn't really been yet, but David Montgomery is also playing behind the best offensive line he has ever played behind. I think it would actually be a disappointment if they aren't better than Ingram and Kamara.
Yeah, Mike G says Spenny's packages are coming faster than FedEx on Viagra. So, you know. Hey, we're doing it today. It's the biggest package Friday this industry has ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
We're just taking every single package and putting it out on the table for everyone to consume.
It's the most wonderful day of the year.
No, it absolutely Friday. Is. By the way, subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast. If you missed the first segment, we did a Memorial Day nickel package. I'm just saying, nobody else is offering you that kind of hard-hitting stuff. Grandpa Joe says Kamara is still amazing, even without the rush yards. I know, but the contract's not. The contract's not amazing. So, you know, it is one of those things for me where that's part of it. Jack Harrington says, not my package. Well, no, big packages only, Jack. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You know what? Don't back down. Say it. Jack Harrington has said many, many worse things about me, so he deserves to be for his package to be degraded.
No, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, his package is probably bigger than most now that we think about it.
I mean, it could be.
You know what? I'm surprised it took this long. For real, Spenmo, are you surprised in retrospect?
Oh no, I love it.
Are you surprised it took this long for this to divulge to that? I am. Not only am I surprised, I'm amazed.
Yep.
It took us 41 minutes and like 50 seconds for it to turn into this. Thankfully, we're going to break. And thankfully, I can tell you about Cintron, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings, served at Little Caesars Arena, served at Keyworth Stadium as well. And right now, they have an exclusive offer for Woodward sports fans. A limited edition Red Wings 6-pack sampler box, $15 to your door. Free shipping. Yes, sir. How do you do it? Well, you go, and then you go to drinkcintron.com/Woodward. Why wait? drinkcintron.com/Woodward. You can get all of them, everything that Cintron has to offer. The great tasting Cranberry, the classic, and the sugar-free, delivered right to your door, $15 free shipping. One more time, drinkcintron.com/Woodward. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, Braylon Edwards play golf with average Joes? Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you'll be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports for more information coming soon. The Randy Wise Automotive Team Celebrity Golf Tour. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, a big package Friday. We do have this bit of news as well. Multiple news reports, obviously, are putting this out there. The National Football League investigating a 5th Lions player for violation of the league's gambling policy. The Athletic, the report I'm reading right here is not naming the player at this time because the investigation is ongoing. The player is under investigation, was not a prominent member of the 2022 Detroit Lions team. He has yet to be interviewed by the league's investigators. The player's agent declined to comment when reached by the Athletic, as did spokespeople for the NFL, the NFLPA, and the Detroit Lions. And, to be fair, there were multiple guys doing this, so it's not hella surprising.
No.
It's not. I think that we've all kind of processed it and we've moved on from it, where the guys that were betting on the National Football League have been dealt with accordingly.
Sure.
Jamison Williams, who yesterday, by the way, said that he was, quote, unaware of the gambling policies. But, whatever. He's got his suspension. He's not appealing it. Whatever happened here with this, they'll address it. They'll move on. We'll move on. Quote, was not a prominent member of the Lions, so okay.
That's the thing, and I hate to say it, but the fact that they said that it was not a prominent member on the 2022 Lions team, which I would lead to believe would not have been a prominent member of the 2023 team, that made it sit a lot easier. I didn't care that Quintez Cephas and Stanley Berryhill got themselves involved in gambling. The only thing that I cared about was that Jamison Williams was suspended for the first 6 games, because he is a guy that is going to be a prominent player for the Detroit Lions. All I care about is that it doesn't happen again with prominent players, because I just want to see the best players on the Lions out on the field. And I hope that Jamison Williams being out doesn't hurt the Lions as much and it doesn't cost them any games. Do I think would we prefer him to be out there? Absolutely, but hopefully that's not the reason why they lose a game. But when you talk about, it's about who can play and who can't. That's why this doesn't bother me at all. That's why it doesn't worry me even in the slightest. I think it's more of a non-story as long as it doesn't become something that is pervasive moving forward.
And I'm sorry for everybody that wanted me to go crazy about this or make a big deal about it.
Crazy.
I'm not. I'm not at all. They will deal with it and they will handle it. And the suspension will come down, and guess what? We'll move on. No matter what, that first Thursday of the NFL football season, the Lions are playing at the Chiefs, and it's time to win. Nothing's going to distract me from that. It's time to win. 3 wins to 9 wins, now a playoff win. That's where we're at, folks. No matter what happens with all of this, and I don't want to hear about it either. I don't want to hear about, they were out without this player. Don't care. This is the NFL. You play without guys. The Lions, somebody will be hurt for an extended period of time with the Detroit Lions that you count on to win games. It will happen. It always happens to every team. And guess what you got to do when that happens?
Next man up.
You go play and you go win that game. You find a way to go win the game. So I'm not going to make a big deal about it. They'll deal with it and we'll move on. Sorry if that's not entertaining or shock, sports talk. I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter to me.
The question, though, that I have and we can even go around the room, if this was a guy I would hate to throw this guy under the bus in a theoretical situation, but you know what? I'll just do it. If it were like Penei Sewell or Amon-Ra St. Brown or, say, Aiden Hutchinson or somebody like that, would any of you guys have a different view on this? Because I would, because it would be one of the best players on the team, potentially missing 6 games, a whole season. Then I would have my spidey senses, my antennas would be up. It's more to do with the fact that most of the guys who got caught up in this were not expected to be significant members of this team. Only Jamison Williams.
Chromium Dragon says Millionaires Gambling SMH. And look, we discussed this with the Jamison Williams thing because it was at the facility or whatever. I think that's a little nitpicky, but whatever. The rules are the rules. If it's I think coming to a complete stop at a stop sign when there's nobody around is a stupid rule too. Sure. But it's a rule. And if there, you know what I'm saying? How you have to come to a complete stop? It's stop signs should be yield signs. And you shouldn't be an idiot.
That's fair.
But you have to, because we're all idiots, so you have to.
Idiots,
yeah. So, that is what it is. It's dumb. If no one's around and you kind of soft roll through the stop sign, it doesn't matter to me. But if there's a police officer there, guess what? You can get a ticket because it's illegal. I understand that. That's kind of my take on the Jamison Williams thing. But, it is what it is. He's gone. I'm not going to sit there and cry about it, man. I'm just not.
The one thing that gave me a little bit of cause for pause is when Jamison Williams said that he didn't know the rules. I'm not necessarily blaming him, but people around him, maybe the coaching staff, I think they could have done a better job of advising him, because no matter what, we all agree that the rule is a little suspect, but that doesn't make him on the field for those first 6 games. He's out no matter what, no matter that the rule is stupid. I just wish that he would have gotten better guidance, and even maybe himself was a little bit more proactive in knowing the rules.
Both things are true.
Sure, absolutely.
Both things are true. He shouldn't have done it, and the rule's stupid.
100%.
So,
Free JMO, right?
Free JMO. Hey, woodwardsports.com. Get your free JMO t-shirt. I have one. I rocked it the other day. I will not abide by this. Ja Wall says the NFL is just picking on the Lions like always. Guys, we got to stop this. We're never going to make it through a season with this. The NFL is just picking on the Lions stuff. They are not.
They gave the Lions the opening Thursday at Kansas City, the defending Super Bowl champion. Stop with this whole crying poor and everything. That's SOL mentality. And these are the brand new Lions. We all agree that this is the team that is going to win the division. I think universally among the chat, I've never really seen anybody in this chat except maybe Brandon Katz give me a reason why the Lions aren't going to win the division and make the playoffs. So, and that's the way you change perception around the league, is you win. And I think the Lions went a long way in doing that at the end of last season. They're not picking on the Lions. Just stop with that.
Yeah. Dirty Dr. D, all around the facility since the 70s, they put up anti-gambling posters around. He knew. But Dirty Dr. D, only recently did gambling become legal.
That's fair.
You see what I'm saying? Back then it was illegal. Now it is legal. And it is legal for players to bet on stuff. They can bet on fights and horse races and basketball and hockey. They can't bet on football. That's what they can't do. And they can't do it at all when they're at the facility for some reason.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
I agree. But again, because I'll get flack for this, both things can be true. It is a rule. He should not have done it. But it is a stupid rule.
Yeah. But just because it's a stupid rule doesn't
mean that it's not a rule.
Doesn't mean it's not a rule, and doesn't mean you're not going to get punished if you break it. And Jamison Williams, obviously, and we've talked about it on the show, and we're going to see when the season starts how much they do miss him. He's going to be out for the first 6 games. And hopefully he never has to face a suspension like this ever again. I hope he learns his lesson. I think he will. But like you said, the fact that gambling is now legal, that makes things a little bit different than before when it was illegal for everyone.
Galloping Lake 6 says Jamison Williams' antenna doesn't pick up all the channels. And Galloping Lake, let me tell you this, working in sports and working around athletes and stuff like that, they are, I honestly believe Jamison Williams when he says that he doesn't know what the rules are. And I do believe also that they did put out education there. Guys, you got to understand, these cats are in their own world, man.
Oh, yeah.
They are in there. We can't even fathom the level of talent that they have. We can't even fathom it.
Nope.
And they often live in their own space. It's real, guys. Trust me, it's real.
No, it's real. But at the end of the day, you still got to take all the necessary
100%.
precautions. Yeah.
But it is real.
Yeah.
I'm Salty says the refs have screwed us for decades. I tend to think that our draft screwed us for decades. Because I can go back. You can give me the calls that went against them. I'll give you the drafts that went against them. I have a longer list than you do. I'm just saying. I'm tired of that victim, everyone's out to get us. No, you go take it. You're not counting on the refs to save you or counting on the league to save you. You stop being a bitch and you go take it.
There's nobody more annoying in your life than that person who always has this victim or inferiority complex. And I think Lions fans and even a lot of Detroit fans have fallen under that for as long as I can remember. And I know I'm not a native Detroiter, so maybe I don't quite understand the ethos of Detroit like some, but that has always bothered me too, especially now that the Detroit Lions have all these great expectations, and we are all expecting them to turn the corner and go back to the playoffs. The time for that is over. Go out there and win games. Don't leave it up to the refs. Just go in and actually beat opponents handily. Don't rely on a call to bail you out, especially on the road. That happens to everybody, not the Detroit Lions, not just the Lions.
Yeah, no question. El Gato says Neal has this Friday ego going. What does that mean?
I think you're the same Neal that you always are.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Chuck says Neal, it's not the draft; it was the idiots making the draft. Well, same.
Yeah,
same thing. That's the overlying point in it. No doubt about that. But yes, so that is the word on the street is there was another Detroit Lion being investigated for the gambling situation, quote, not a prominent member of last year's team. So, and guys, that matters.
Of course it does.
I'm saying, hey, this is professional sports, man. If you don't matter, it's easier to deal with you, too.
There's a reason why all of our thumbnails didn't have Stanley Berryhill and Quintez Cephas on them. They had Jamison Williams. I'm just saying, that plays a role in it. All I care about is that everyone on the Lions who is able-bodied and who is on the team can be on the field. That's it.
Yeah, Dat Boy Roy 2.0. The refs tried to give the game to Green Bay last year, and we still won. Exactly. That's exactly my point. Because guess what? That type of issue is going to happen to you in this league.
Yes.
It just is. And guess what they did? They overcame it. They talked to Darren McCarty for 5 minutes about officiating. It's amazing. He never talks about officiating.
What to say? He wouldn't even give you 5 minutes. He
No.
would give you 5 seconds and be like, doesn't matter. I mean, the Red Wings overcame a lot of things. I mean, they obviously won 4. They had one of the great dynasties in hockey for about, 12 years? You have to overcome at some point. And the missed calls and everything, they all tend to even out. I've never bought into this whole idea that the league just is always against the Lions. I know some calls have gone against them, like even the batted ball out of bounds. Calvin Johnson still fumbled at like the 1 foot line. And I'm not trying to slander Calvin. It's just there are things you can do to prevent it from coming down to the refs. Always.
Casey says, you don't think the refs are going to be handing that game to Kansas City in week 1? Yes. Yes. Yes.
So take it.
So guess what you have to do? You don't have to be 1 point better. You have to be 6 points better to win by 1. That's the way that works. I had a coach explain that to me one time. To be 1 point better on the road, you have to be 6 points better in play.
I was just about to mention that every coach across high school, college, NFL, they preach that type of stuff. On the road, you're not going to get the benefits of the doubt. You're just not. But that goes for every team everywhere.
That is true. All right, we're going to pick the big package back up when we come back.
Yeah, and you know what goes for every person everywhere is some good lobster. And the best place you can get it is Cousins Maine Lobster, because Woodward Sports is brought to you by Cousins Maine Lobster Detroit. Check out their food trucks rolling around the city offering the tastiest lobster rolls and lobster tacos to satisfy your fix. Go to cousinsmainelobster.com and search locations to find the Detroit schedule, or download the app, order ahead, and earn points. You can even scan that QR code right there and figure out where they are rolling around the city, so make sure you check out Cousins Maine Lobster.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Coming up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for Darren McCarty. We got BMG Detroit Vipers sweatshirt on today. We have Spencer Raxter as well. And we're picking the packages back up where we set them down. We're going to put the packages back on the table right now. And we're going to continue on Big Package Friday. NFL edition. Let's go.
All right, first question of the NFL nickel package. Give me your dark horse offensive rookie of the year candidate.
Dark horse NFL offensive rookie of the year candidate. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Okay, Jackson Smith and Jigba, that's a good one. I'm kind of going in the same vein as you. I'm going to go with Jordan Addison. I wasn't a huge fan of him coming out, but when it comes to Jordan Addison, it's all about fit. I think that Jordan Addison will be an upgrade over Adam Thielen as their number 2 wide receiver. Obviously, all of the attention will go to Justin Jefferson on the other side. And I think Jordan Addison, as a guy who can run the intermediate routes, get yards after catch, I think he is going to thrive on this team. And we all know something about Kirk Cousins. He will always put up gaudy numbers in passing yards. So I think Jordan Addison will have an 1,000-yard season. I think I wouldn't bet against him to win it, honestly.
My deal with Jackson Smith and Jigba is with the Seahawks, if they get back to the playoffs, he will have played a prominent role in that. That is a prominent role.
100%.
They didn't draft him. They didn't use premium capital to just have him come in here and fill a spot. And look, Geno Smith, love him, hate him, whatever, had a great year last year.
He did.
So, it is possible. I always get this pushback when I talk about the Tigers, where I talk about 26-year-old prospects. And the baseball community, I have good friends, are always like, oh, so you mean guys can't develop? Okay, well, maybe Geno Smith can develop too. Maybe.
Maybe.
Is that crazy?
He can have a couple more good years. I will say that.
That's my point.
I will say that.
If the Seahawks are in the playoffs, Jackson Smith and Jigba will have had a big year.
It's just with the Seahawks, my worry is there's only one ball. I think that DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett have shown that they're going to get theirs. I just don't know if Jackson Smith and Jigba will put up the numbers. But yeah, I think he will be valuable, 100%.
Yep, absolutely. So, second down.
Second down. Next question of the NFL nickel package. Give me your dark horse defensive rookie of the year candidate, Jack Campbell.
That's a good one.
You know what? And look, I can have questions because I know what everyone's going to do. So I'm going to cut you off right now. When you say, "Well, Neal, you just said you want to see if he can keep up from a speed perspective. We're about the speed, guys. A lot of these awards go back to what Flannel just said. Like if you want to nitpick at my pick for Jackson Smith and Jigba because of usage, then I will counter and re-raise you with Jack Campbell because of usage. Day one, second one. Play one, it's your show.
100%.
He will never come off that field.
He will never come off that field. That's a good one.
It's a usage award. You know what I'm saying? Because in order to get numbers, you have to have usage. And he is going to get the usage.
And I agree with that 100%. I like your guys' pick even more than mine. I actually went with Brian Brzee. And one of the reasons why I went with him is he's going to the Saints. He is going to be the best defensive tackle on that depth chart from day one. Their defensive line room is weak.
It's so hard for a defensive tackle to get that award, though.
No, that's
so hard.
That's why I said dark horse.
Yeah.
And I think that Brian Brzee is a guy who was a steal for the New Orleans Saints. He had more sacks in college than Jalen Carter in about 10 less games. And 3.5 less tackles for loss in 10 less games. And I'm not saying it's the end-all, be-all. I'm just saying that Brian Brzee was an elite. He was elite coming into college. He was more productive than you think. He just ran into some injury problems.
And Jack Harrington kind of put it out there where I was going to go with it, like when you talk about like dark horse or whatever, because I think Christian Gonzalez is in the best spot to win this thing.
That's a good one, too.
You're coming off the Sauce Gardner year. It's already front of mind. I think he's going to be like the sexy pick for it. But I think when you total up all these numbers, Jack Campbell's going to have 120 tackles, right?
I agree. I think he will.
Then how do you say no to that?
As a dark horse, like I
said,
said,
if he falls on a couple of fumbles, gets a sack or two.
After you guys said it, I was kind of like, man, I want to change my pick. But you know what? I didn't want to go with the Lions, so I went with Brian Brzee. But yeah, Jack Campbell, I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Yeah. Again, just a usage thing.
Yeah.
All right, next question of the NFL nickel package. It's not a Sam package without a question about the Chiefs. Over under for Kansas City Chiefs wins this season at 12.5.
So what? That puts you at 12-5 to go under. They always have two clunkers on the road, even the Golden Boy Mahomes, because I know everyone talks about Jared Goff and like the Dallas game and the New England game. Like, Jared Goff had some stinkers on the road, too. Indianapolis, he was brutal.
He was.
And guess what? It happens to everybody in this league. You play 17 games, they're not all A games. There's going to be two stinkers in there. So you figure the Chiefs will have two stinkers where two losses are kind of baked in. So you're looking at, for them to go under, to lose 3 more. I want to say over, like I do. My gut says over. But when you start reasoning through it, they're in that division, right? I mean, I keep hearing about how great that division is.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
You got to find a way to get around a guy that, for every game he wins, he loses a game. Like that, I keep hearing about how great that division. You know what? If that division stinks, then yeah, they'll go way over. But that division's any good, then they'll be under. How about that?
You know what? That's a little bit of a cop-out, but that's okay because I am going to say over. I would give them 14 or 15 wins because the Kansas City Chiefs are that just dominant team right now.
You know what? I am going to go under on the record. I am. Just, you can't. Mahomes is mercurial.
Yes.
He's great. He's the closest thing we've had to Tom Brady since Tom Brady. And I'm talking about, like, he's the next.
Yeah.
He's the next one.
Yeah.
The early success he's had. Even he can't mitigate this. Like, they were able to work through the Tyreek Hill thing. You can't lose Orlando Pay. You can't lose Frank. Dude, these are dudes we're talking about, Flannel. And it worked one. Like, you did just enough to get through in the draft. Even Patrick Mahomes can't overcome this.
Yes, he can, because he did the year before while losing Tyreek Hill and Tyrann Mathieu. Everybody forgets about that. Yeah, they're losing Frank Clark and they're losing Orlando Brown Jr., but they also picked up Jawan Taylor from Jacksonville, who I don't think is quite as good, but they at least addressed it. And George Karlaftis was one of the best rookie defensive ends last season. He's not Frank Clark, especially for what Frank Clark gave you in the postseason. But the reason I'm going over, it's not just Patrick Mahomes. They have the best quarterback, the best tight end in Travis Kelce, the best defensive tackle in Chris Jones, the best punter in Tommy Townsend, and the best coach in the NFL in Andy Reid. And don't tell me that punters aren't important. You know how important they are. I don't know about that. Tommy Townsend was first-team All-Pro. I'm just going by the numbers, and I like Jack Fox too. And Andy Reid is still the coach. He is the best offensive coach in NFL history. I'd put him above Bill Walsh at this point, and certainly of this generation.
Mike G says Frank Clark, go blue. I was told that he has character issues.
Oh, he did. Definitely wasn't. He's not a great guy, but he was. I mean, he's been great in the NFL, an absolute success.
So you're back to claiming him then?
No, I've never not claimed him.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
The dude has more postseason sacks than Reggie White in many less games. That's unbelievable.
Travis Kelce is going to be 34.
That's true.
In the first third of the season. Just keep an eye on that.
I know.
He's not a robot either.
He's the best tight end of all time, though.
100%.
Yes, he is.
Don't disagree. Guys, I don't disagree. But 34 is 34, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, that's all. I just wanted it out there.
Next question of the NFL Nickel Package. If you had to pick one NFC quarterback to make the Pro Bowl other than Jared Goff and Jalen Hurts, who would it be?
You just...
In the sweet Dakota rain.
No. And you see me stalling for time right now to make a case for Danny Dimes to get in there.
Come on.
Darren Waller.
You see, I'm doing the mental gymnastics right now. And here's how it works, just to let you guys in. So I'm having an internal dialogue right now with myself, and I'm going to say, Neal, you're never going to say Rain Dakota, so just don't even think about that. Geno Smith can't get back there again.
I was going to say Geno Smith. I mean, he's got weapons, man. That
he
offense
does.
is going to be gnarly. Will
Neal,
Disley?
Danny Dimes won you a fantasy football championship last year. Make the case for him, Neal. Do it. Be cool. Fly right into the eye of the storm. F these people out here. Do it. Lay it out. There's a case to be made with the numbers. I just can't bring myself to do it. I just can't. I want to say Daniel Jones. I want to so bad.
In the cold Dakota rain.
I don't want to say Rain Dakota. I don't want to say that. I know that Danny Dimes Industries, after supply chain issues, after labor shortages last year, I know that they're going to open the factory and turn the machines back on. Yes, the turnover factory. I know Danny Dimes will be mass producing turnovers at some point. He will. I want it. If it happens, though, think of me. Can you just think of me? Okay, if it does happen.
I guess I can think of you for that. And honestly, I had that same internal dialogue about Justin Fields because that's who I wanted to say off the top, just because he is one of the most dynamic athletes at the quarterback position we have ever seen. And it wouldn't shock me if he has another 1,000-yard season. My thing is that as a thrower of the football last year, I think he will get better given a better offensive line and more weapons. He only completed 20 passes in a game once last year. And that's just, I can't say Justin Fields this year, but you know who I am going to say, just based off of past history, I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins for this one, because at least Kirk Cousins, he puts up good counting numbers every single year. I actually didn't know this until I looked this up. In all 8 seasons as a starter, he has thrown for at least 25 touchdown passes. In 3 of those seasons, he's thrown for more than 30.
You know
he's
what?
Made the Pro Bowl 4 times.
Yeah, I know.
I know, yeah.
You know what the most impressive stat line of that is?
What is it?
He's thrown for 25 touchdowns every year.
Every year as a starter.
Who?
Kirk Cousins.
Wow.
I didn't even know that. I had to look it up.
You know what? Oh, so now he's a Spartan dog too.
No,
all
he's
of a
always
sudden,
been a Spartan dog.
Okay, so now you're claiming him.
He's always been a Spartan dog.
Has he?
Yeah, for sure. You like that? He's mid. I'm not gonna say he's like the GOAT or anything, but that's an impressive stat. He's always been a Spartan dog.
He's the best quarterback in school history. Yeah, I mean, at least in terms of translating to
Tony
the NFL.
Banks.
Brian Hoyer.
Still getting a bag.
Still getting a bag.
If we're talking about college,
Spartans
it's gotta
get
be
checks,
Connor.
man.
Yeah.
He's got a $1.3 guaranteed. He's like 60.
Abby, Brian Hoyer, Kirk, collecting those checks, man.
Okay. Nick Lucido says, Neal, you got to wear the Danny Dimes jersey if it happens. Yes, Nick. If Daniel Jones makes the Pro Bowl, not like makes the Pro Bowl, not beg to play in it, makes it.
Hey, you called Jared Goff a Pro Bowler. He was an alternate, so he gets in
I
there.
thought he made it.
No, he was alternate.
He was an alternate.
Oh, was he?
Just like Tyler Huntley,
That's a joke.
who threw 2 touchdown passes. Pro Bowl's a
I
fucking
hate
joke.
that guy.
You know what it was? Oh, man. All right, we're up against. I had a good story about that, but we got to keep it cooking.
All right, last one. Final question of the NFL Nickel Package. True or false, Micah Parsons finishes with at least 20 sacks?
Oh,
This is Flannel. This is
false.
Flannel's package.
Yeah, false.
You know what? I'm going to go with true. Because Micah Parsons has had one. I think this is the year where maybe he can take the torch from Nick Bosa as the best defensive player in the NFL. I mean, his first 2 seasons, 26 and a half sacks, 33 tackles for loss, including 20 in his rookie year. 2-time first-team All-Pro.
Better player than Nick Bosa.
Not right now, but he could be. And he's also made first-team All-Pro in both of his seasons. Micah Parsons is trending towards, to me, being one of the greatest defensive players of all time. I know a lot of people in this town don't like him for what he said about Detroit and for, I think Maz has a lot to do with that, with his constant Micah Parsons over Penei Sewell talk. But Micah Parsons is
despite
elite.
and the Maz thing is part of it because there's video evidence, which Spemo has pointed out many times, that you can go look at it on YouTube when your god, Micah Parsons, was put literally in a phone booth, shoved in the phone booth, and had the door closed on him by Penei Sewell.
But he also had 2 sacks and a forced fumble in
Against
that same
Taylor
game.
Decker.
But right now, Micah Parsons is a better player than Penei Sewell. I think that Penei Sewell was a fine pick. Yes, he is. 2-time first-team All-Pro versus no-time All-Pro. Come on.
What about when they did this weird thing, when they went up against each other and he got shoved in a locker like a freshman?
He didn't get shoved in a locker.
Penei Sewell put him in a bread box.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He didn't get pressure.
There were a lot of 3-step drops and then quick releases.
He didn't touch the quarterback.
No, he didn't. That's fine. They went
Against
up
Penei Sewell
for like 8 or 9 plays. Micah Parsons is a better player right now. That doesn't mean that was a bad pick by the Lions. They're both gold jacket guys. 100%. Can we agree on that, Spenny?
Yes. Yeah, I wanted Micah Parsons. I'm cool with Penei Sewell.
I agree with that.
There's a lot of capitals in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Cheromium, watch the game. Burn, look at the tape. Please do us a favor and go look at it.
I
okay?
looked at
go
that
look
tape.
at it.
Micah
Go look at
Parsons
it
had
again.
2 sacks and a forced fumble in a game in which they gave up
against
6 points to the Lions.
Against Taylor Decker.
Okay, that's fine. They gave up 6 points to the Lions, and Micah Parsons was the best player
Against
on
Taylor
the field.
Decker.
Okay, fine.
They gave up 6 points to the Lions because Jamal Williams fumbled the ball on the 1 yard line.
Because who chased down Zylstra from behind? Oh, that's right, Micah Parsons. That happened.
Does Micah Parsons have any game-winning first down receptions?
No.
Worse than Penei Sewell. Because Penei Sewell does.
If you guys actually think that it's crazy for me to say that Micah
No, I don't
Parsons
think
is a
it's
better
crazy.
player than Penei Sewell, I'm talking to the chat. You guys are just hating. I'm happy with
Go
Penei
look at the tape
Sewell.
when they went head up. All right, we got to get it back on track here.
I don't think it's crazy, Sam.
Thank you.
Here it's this. This one says it right here. Mike says Penei made Micah look like it was bring your kid to work day.
No, you guys are just lying. You stop that bull. There were a lot of 3-step dropbacks and then quick releases. I'll just say
All right,
that.
hey, Strawberry Fest, big boy. You guys know what it is. Classic breakfast items, the strawberry hotcakes, the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Not a breakfast person? That's fine. I'm not either. So I mess with the strawberry bacon chicken wrap. It slaps. Salad person, that's cool. The Summer Splash salad. Don't forget about dessert. It's what started this whole Strawberry Fest movement. The OG, the strawberry pie. You can get deep-fried vanilla Oreos or strawberry hot fudge cake. All of it is there for you. Strawberry Fest at Big Boy.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
I gotta address this one, Kevin Bell, because this might be the dumbest thing that's ever been said on a Woodward Sports Chat. You literally said Parsons will get destroyed on the edge. He weighs 255. There's literally a 2-year sample size of evidence in which he was first-team All-Pro, 26 and a half sacks.
Can we get it on the rails, dude?
I'm just saying, what are you talking about?
Our packages are so big that we're falling behind right now. We're lagging behind.
That's just hate, though, Kevin Bell. You stop that.
All right,
it's just hate.
Let's get it back.
Okay.
Big Package Friday here. Memorial Day Getaway Friday. Neal, Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for D-Mac. BMG just kind of laughing over there with the Detroit Vipers sweatshirt on. We got Spencer Raxter here as well. Let's keep it pushing. College football nickel package.
Here we go.
I can't wait for this one.
Here we go. I'll step in for this one. Coach Prime is at Colorado. They've had over 50 players transfer out of there. Now, of course, Prime was in the news. He said, I'm bringing my luggage, and it's Louis. And remember, too, this Colorado team was 1-11 last year. Maybe arguably one of the worst college football teams ever. Prime's taking a lot of heat for, quote, running players off. How do you feel about, quote, running players off?
You could run players off that were on a 1-11 team and probably the worst Power 5 college football team I've ever seen. If you're hired to coach this team, you want players who can win. You want to bring in a guy like your son, Shedeur Sanders, and Travis Hunter. You want guys who are on a 1-11 team off. It all depends on the team that you're inheriting. This Colorado team was rancid.
And for me, it's pretty simple, right? Like, he's the coach.
Yeah.
And here's a dirty little secret, too, about everybody like the anti-name, image, and likeness and people that are like, oh, college sports is ruined. Did you know scholarships were always rolling 1-year deals? There was no such thing as a 4-year scholarship.
Well, I actually didn't know that.
They're all rolling 1-year deals. Guess what? The SEC's been doing this for a very, very long time. You guys, and look, I'm always pro player. I am, because it's their talent. Without their talent, there's none of this.
Yes.
That's just the way that it is. They have the irreplaceable contribution to this whole thing. Here's the deal, guys, and I'm talking to the players. Like, you want the name, image, and likeness and freedom of movement and all that stuff, which I 1,000% support. I do. Guess what? That sword cuts both ways. And when you don't perform, that's the way it's going to work. And Deion said he was going to do this, and I don't understand the pushback he's getting. Everyone's like, yeah, do it. And then and then everybody runs off, and they're like, wow, what's he going to do? Guess what? And Prime's going to wear it because they have like 35 scholarship players or whatever. He's going to wear it this year, especially with that schedule they have. But when it's all said and done, Deion Sanders is going to win at Colorado. And the players that left, they were 1-11 there.
And if you want him to win, let him cook. Even this year, even with the deficit in scholarships, I guarantee you that Colorado will be better than 1-11. I think that they might still make a bowl game. I think they'll approach it. So yeah, 1-11 players, just like bye-bye, STFU.
Yeah, even if they were 5-7 players. If Coach Prime is the coach now.
Yes.
So if he can get somebody better than you, he's going to get somebody better than you.
Agreed.
So we want that, right? We want the freedom movement, all that stuff. You get all the shade that comes with it. Second down, college football nickel package, Big Package Friday, Big D Energy. Do we realize that after this year, the SEC will have Alabama, they'll have Georgia, they'll have all the usuals. LSU is going to be a factor, I think, very, very soon here.
I
Brian
agree.
Kelly's a good-ass coach. You know, Ole Miss, Mississippi, who have been number one in the nation within the last 7 years.
Yep.
They have been. Auburn, by the way, national champ. You know the list. All those players, all those teams. Florida's won back-to-back national titles within the last 15 years, whatever it is. Texas and Oklahoma next year as well.
Man, will Texas even get a winning record this next year?
Do you realize that, though? That's next year.
That is... It definitely sneaks. Life comes at you fast. That is going to be the best conference in the history of conferences. And it's funny, though. Oklahoma, they've done pretty well over the years. And I was always a Lincoln Riley fan, for the record, of beating up on the Big 12. playing that basketball on grass style football. But now they're going to the SEC where they're not the big dog, and they have Brent Venables as their head coach. That sucks
Disaster.
too. Disaster.
Outright disaster.
100%.
That just goes to show you this is all coaching.
It's all coaching.
It is all coaching, man. And it's not just like in-game coaching. It's what comes with when you hire the coach. The support staff, his ability to recruit, the people he hires, their ability to recruit, all of that. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. LFG hot take 2023 college football. Colorado will play TCU close in the opening game. And I know TCU lost a lot. I think people need to temper their... And I know that people are circling the waters waiting for it, like the Deion Sanders haters, which I love Deion Sanders, loved him as a player, love him now. He's going to win there. It won't be this year, but he's going to win. If they beat Nebraska in week 2, you guys are clowns. Your little Big Ten is clowns.
And that seems...
They should change it from the Big Ten to the Big Top Conference.
But they're going to have USC and UCLA as well.
No, it's murder. And they're at Washington. It's a murderous schedule. And Prime, signed up for it all, man. I love it. I love it. Jack Harrington says the SEC will be the evil empire, even more than they are now. Number 3, third down. Do we realize, too, the college football playoff is expanding next year as well? The Rose Bowl was a big pain in the ass about it. We made fun of them. Behind closed doors, I'll admit that I'm a Rose Bowl simp. I'm glad that they're kind of locked into the New Year's Day at 5 p.m. I am. Because, look, as a sports fan, a huge college football fan, what's better than that shot of the Rose Bowl when the sky's pink? What's better than that?
There's nothing better than that. And I'm saying this as a Michigan fan.
Are you glad the Rose Bowl's on board with it and it got figured out and the Rose Bowl will take part in it?
Absolutely, I am. The Rose Bowl is always special to me, even as a Michigan fan. And as we all know, Michigan and Rose Bowls, the Rose Bowl hasn't always been too kind to Michigan. But just seeing, I'm a simp for the Rose Bowl like you are. I'd like to see it still remain relevant. So this is music to my ears, just like you, Neal.
No, I do like it for as much as they were a huge pain in the ass about it. They were able to get it figured out, so that is good. Talk about playoff expansion, and we know what that is, right? The playoff expansion is just to get more Power Fives in there. That's what it is. It's to get Michigan and Ohio State in there.
Yeah,
that's what it's for. There's also a number of rule changes that are coming in this year. Probably the most famous one, the clock will run after first downs. That's the biggest one. You know that's aimed at reducing the number of plays, right?
Sure.
That's the goal of it.
Yeah, not making 4-hour games. College football games last forever.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage for teams like Michigan.
Absolutely.
Huge advantage.
100% it is. I mean, it's going to work in Michigan's favor because they want to control the line of scrimmage. They want to run the football, which they will be able to do very effectively.
They want Michigan to win so bad, don't they?
Stop it.
They're going to change the rules for it.
You're a piece of work, Neal. That has nothing to do with Michigan. It has to do with...
You're a piece of work.
Bro, when you go to these college football games or when you watch these 8 o'clock games at night, it'll be 11:30 on an 8 o'clock game, and it'll be a minute and a half left in the third quarter. These games last forever. I actually don't like the rule change because I like the differences, but at the same time, I don't think.
Oh, so pace is a real thing?
Yeah, pace is a real thing.
Oh, I was told that it's not. It's just smash mouth football.
Well, and if Michigan wouldn't have had so many unforced errors, they probably still would have won that game.
Or if they would have had some energy at the end of the game, perhaps they could have come back.
I don't know. JJ was leading the comeback there when he started running with his legs. But
he was.
The pick sixes kind of did him in.
Yeah, can't have
two.
Can't have two of those.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And 2 empty possessions.
It's almost like he played like a freshman there.
2 empty possessions in the red zone.
Yeah,
pretty bad.
Yeah, I've never denied that. He was horrific.
But remember when the season started, and I'm like, you're gonna have a freshman quarterback, man. At some point, it's gonna cost you.
I just thought they should have opened him up earlier.
That's fair.
That's not the Michigan way.
Yeah,
that's not the Michigan way. Where were we at? 5th down. We know about NBC, Peacock flexing their muscle on the Big Ten with the Michigan State, Penn State game at Ford Field. But let's cut the shit, everybody, all right? In order for you to stream college football next year, it's going to end up costing you more than your cable bill did before you started streaming. ESPN's going to go standalone pretty soon. They are. Word on the street is could cost $40 to $50 per month. We see it with baseball. Last week, if you want to watch the New York Yankees, if you're a Yankees fan, it would have cost you $58 for the month to get the Yes Network, which is like their Bally's, which their Yes Network's $29.99 a month. Apple TV, which they had a game on Apple TV. They had a game on Amazon Prime. So you would have to have access to all three of those streaming subscription services. You guys know this, right? Like, this is going to be the end game of this. You're going to have to pick and choose. You won't be able to watch it all.
I don't like it. I understand that it just kind of is the way that it is at this point. You know what I'll be doing? Because a lot of people accuse me of doing this anyway. I'll probably be spending a lot more time on Game Tracker or just looking at box scores for games that I don't necessarily have to watch. But for the games that are essential, 100%. You have no choice.
And remember, too, and Adiz 411, yes, CBS will have Big Ten games as well. Mason Leach says, this is why I don't pay for cable. Mason, you're going to be spending more to watch college football if you want to watch it all. You got to stream Paramount. You got to stream Peacock. You'll have to stream Fox as well. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know that you can do like your little antenna route and things like that. But in order to do all of that, look at what this cost is going to be.
Can cost free $99 too if you just join the pirate's life.
Well, but Spenmo, and look, I'll admit it. You know, UFC, I do that.
Yeah,
I do that. But we know what comes along with that.
Yeah, buffering
at the worst time and all that kind of stuff. But that's the financial decision I made, where I'm prepared to deal. I'm prepared to deal with the buffering and everything like that, because I can't buy it all. You know, UFC, I can't give you $80 twice a month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Spenmo, you got me on it.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Hooked you up.
So, you know, that's what it is. Brandon Katz says ESPN is in decline. It's funny.
Brandon Katz is in decline.
The Catsbot 2000, Catsbot 9000, whatever it was.
Does not compute.
Yeah. David says the buffering does suck. No, it does. Jake Wegener says you get buffering and threatening emails from Dana White as well.
As long as you're not his wife, Dana White won't hit you, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, dear. Let's change the physiology, shall we? Tell us about Swiss Insurance.
I will tell you about Swiss Insurance because I'm not going to say what I wanted to say, but like your draft picks, did the GM do his job? Get Swiss Insurance. Be a boss and take control of your insurance options. Draft a company that will give you the most cost-effective plan and protect you like the best O-line in the league. Email Swiss Insurance today, mark@swissins.com. That's mark@swissins.com. Or go to swissins.com and get the insurance you need. Make sure you tap in with Swiss Insurance.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Big Package Friday, motoring into the Memorial Day week. And you know how we do it. Reaction real quick, woodwardsports.com chat thread. Chili Damon says this will put them out of business, just like Bally's. Well, Chili, charging the money for Bally's is not what has put Bally's out of business. It's the cost of acquisition. When they bought the Fox Sports Detroit/regional family, they paid $7 billion for it.
Hell yeah.
Like, the cost of acquisition is what put them out of business. Chuck Brewer says, your job is talking sports. All games need to be watched, not looking at box scores, Sam Flannel.
Ooh.
I mean,
he's not wrong.
Boom.
Find a way.
You know, that is true. And with the most important games, I will.
Flannel,
watch
I
them.
want you to watch Belarusian cricket at 3 in the morning.
Oh, man. I'm not Sam Fisher.
I love you, Fish, by the way, if you're out there.
Catspot 9000. That's a bad take by Neal. Most people will not pay for these games. Brandon, they will. It's been proven.
Most people will not play for these games.
Yeah, that's a bad take, Brandon. They will. It's proven. 12 million people stream this stuff on Amazon, man. And I know some of the people had it already, but guess what? Some of them didn't. They're going to pay. What's the alternative, Brandon? Are you not going to watch the game? Yes, you're going to watch the game because you're addicted. You're addicted. You just get another bright idea. You get another streaming service for them to subscribe to, and they will because they're addicted. All right. Let's do this. Let's do Audible on the fly right now. We'll save the Spenny Sportsbook because one of them's going to get squeezed out.
Okay.
We'll save that one. Flannel, you want to do the fast break, man?
Yes.
Put you on the spot?
Yes.
Let's do that one.
I will do the
5
fast
questions about the NBA. Sam Flannel's fast break.
All right. Question number 1. On a scale of 1 to 10, how panicked should the Miami Heat be right now?
8. 8 because they played a game on the road yesterday. It's twofold. Number 1, they've already won 2 games in Boston.
Yes.
They're not winning in Boston again. That is not going to happen. Number 2, they shot the ball well yesterday. I think they were over 50% from the floor. They were right at about 40% from 3. They turned it over 16 times.
They did.
You cannot win on the road turning the ball over 16 times, no matter what you shoot. Like that takes you out of the game. It's over. They better win Game 6. Game 6 is do or die for them because if they go back to Boston in Game 7, they will get blitzkrieged. And I know we love Himmy Butler and the talking points and all that. I know we do. But you're not going there and winning again. So it stands to reason. Math dictates you better win Game 6.
And you know what? I'm going to go there because you mentioned Himmy Butler. Himmy Butler has really only been a thing in the first round in which he went God mode, and that is very, very fair, and they needed that for them to beat the Milwaukee Bucks. But in the last couple rounds, he's basically been regular season Jimmy Butler by the numbers, but worse efficiency than regular season Jimmy Butler. The reason why the Heat have been winning, to me, by the numbers, is the fact that in the playoffs, even with these last 2 games, and I know they didn't shoot terrible from 3 in Game 5, but they did in Game 4. Max Strus, Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson, Kevin Love, and Kyle Lowry have all shot better from the 3 in the playoffs than the regular season. At some point, the Miami Heat, who were not a good 3-point shooting team in the regular season, are going to regress to the mean. And the Boston Celtics, they've been shooting it better in the last couple of games. And they're the better team, they're the more talented team.
Better roster, all that.
Absolutely.
No, I definitely agree with you. It's just they better win Game 6. And by the way, in the sports books, by the way, it's pretty much an even money proposition. But Celtics to win the series or Miami to win the series.
Yeah, and it doesn't surprise me at all because it's an elimination game from the Heat, Game 6, for all intents and purposes.
No doubt, it definitely is. All right, at the shooting guard.
This shooting guard, is there any chance that LeBron James actually retires this offseason?
No, there's no chance that he retires. And it's got as much to do with the business world as it does with the basketball world. You know, obviously LeBron James is not concerned about money. He's made billions and billions. You know, when it's all said and done, if he hasn't crossed the $1 billion threshold already, he will by the time it's all said and done. If you include everything, it's not about the money for him, but the business interest. It's in the best business interest to keep playing basketball. And I know too, like he's talked about the Bronny thing and all that kind of stuff. You know, I don't know, is Bronny an NBA player? We'll find out. Some people are saying maybe he was a bit overvalued by the college recruiting and all that kind of stuff. Whatever, we'll see how it plays out. But there's no way he's going to retire. He's still one of the 10 best players in the game.
Yes, and
at 38.
Absolutely, and I got some numbers to back it up. In the regular season, he was 9th in the NBA in scoring. He was 5th among the top 10 scorers in field goal percentage, 3rd among the top 10 scorers in assists, and 5th among the top 10 scorers in rebounds per game. And in the playoffs, even though in the playoffs a lot of people said that he was old, he obviously wasn't peak LeBron. and he was playing with a bad foot, he averaged 25, 10, and 7 on 50% shooting.
He's the
That's
greatest
pretty damn good.
38-year-old to ever play the game of basketball.
Yes, and certainly the best year 20 player by a country mile. When it comes to 38-year-old players, you could argue Kareem is close, but definitely he wasn't in year 20, he was in year 17. And to put that into perspective, Larry Bird's career playoff numbers, 24, 10, and 7 on 47% shooting and 32% from three-point. So basically what LeBron was doing this year in terms of numbers is Larry Bird's playoff
real
career.
quick, Larry Bird was not this three-point shooting god that everybody thinks that he is.
J.J. Redick was right. He shot 32% from three in his playoff career. That's not great.
No.
A lot of hypotheticals when it comes to Larry Bird. I'm going to say, I'm basically going to quote J.J. Redick verbatim. I'm not saying he's not an all-time great shooter, but an all-time great three-point shooter, laughable.
Yeah.
Back-to-back MVP.
That all-time great player, top 10 ever.
Both things are true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's true.
Both things are true. Next up, number 3.
All right, I'm going to ask you to kind of put on your psychic hat. True or false, Nikola Jokic finishes his career as a top 10 NBA player of all time?
In like reality or in like perception of the game?
You know what?
Because there's two different answers.
Okay, I will actually, give me both.
Give you both. Okay.
Yes.
In reality, yes, because he has transformed the game of basketball. I know because he looks like a loaf of bread running around the court that nobody wants to give him the respect that he deserves. But the bottom line is this. He runs the offense as a center. He gets his 30 and 20, and oh, by the way, gets other guys 20. Like you look at points created by a center. We've never seen this before. And I got in this debate with a very, very good friend of mine where he talked about, I would love to see Jokic square up with Hakeem Olajuwon and see what's what. When you break it down after that game's over, yeah, Olajuwon would get his 28 or 30 and 20, 30 and 15, whatever. So would Jokic. And guess what? Jokic would have 12 assists that create another 25 points.
Now you're saying that Jokic is better than Olajuwon. I can't go with
He
that.
is.
Olajuwon's the greatest defensive player ever besides Bill Russell.
He can't defend the guys that Jokic passes the ball to.
And that's fair.
Because when you have the basketball, Sam Flannel, the goal of every possession is to put the ball through the hoop. Jokic will have a big part in that 85% of the possessions. Either putting it through the hoop himself or somebody he passes through puts it through the hoop. He is Magic Johnson at the center spot.
You know what?
That's what he is.
And you know what? I will give you my answer because he is the best passing big man of all time, and he's probably the best passing player in the NBA right now, except maybe LeBron James. I'll give you my answer. He has a pathway to being top 10.
He's a better passer than LeBron.
I don't know about that. You know what? I'm not going to die on that hill. But anywho, there is a pathway to Jokic being objectively a top 10 player of all time. Do we all agree that in terms of the teams that are left, Nikola Jokic is the overwhelming favorite to win the Finals MVP this year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
He already has 2 regular season MVPs. If he wins Finals MVP this year and wins another one, he joins a club of Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Tim Duncan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Larry Bird as the only 2 players in those are the only players in NBA history who have won multiple regular season MVPs and multiple Finals MVPs. And Nikola Jokic already has the multiple regular season MVPs. He'll probably get a Finals MVP this year. He would have to get another one, but the Nuggets look like they're set up for sustained success.
Spencer Raxter. Brandon Katz says Jokic is a top player, but he's playing with 3 All-Star players. Yes, because he created them.
Actually, I don't think any of them made the All-Star team this year. I mean, they're 3 really good players,
Yes.
but I think he was their only All-Star.
That he has a hand in creating.
That's true. That's very true.
So, that's Jokic will never get the credit he deserves because of looks.
I disagree.
Because of the eyeball
They
test.
gave him 2 regular season MVPs.
Right, and then when he was the MVP again, they didn't give it to him again.
Yeah, because they've never given 3 consecutive MVP
Right.
awards to Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, Magic Johnson.
All right,
Just
what do we
saying.
got next?
All right. What NBA resume is better at this point? Anthony Davis or Joel Embiid?
They're the same, except that
stop
they're the
it.
same, except Davis has won a championship.
They're not the same.
Yes, they are.
Anthony Davis.
They're 2 dudes that you never know if they're going to be playing or not. When they do, I will say this. I will say Embiid tends to be a little more consistent, but he also seems to miss more games. So however you want to value it, those are the same dudes to me. You never know if they're going to be playing or not.
No, I disagree with that. Joel Embiid missed his entire 2 first seasons due to injury, and in his 3rd season, he played 31 games. Anthony Davis.
He was drafted with that condition.
Okay,
by the
but
way.
Anthony Davis has played 70 or more games 2 times, and then 60 or more games 5 other times. And you said Anthony Davis actually performed very, very well in the 2020 playoffs. He won a championship while averaging 28, 10, and 4 on peak Kevin Durant efficiency. Anthony Davis's numbers go up, and his efficiency goes up in the playoffs. Joel Embiid is the actual
every
playoff.
other game it goes up.
Okay, but on an average, it goes up. And Joel Embiid's actually go down. His points and his efficiency go down. And Anthony Davis has only missed 1 career playoff game. Joel Embiid has missed 8. And when he does play, it obviously wears him down. He's obviously worn down by the season. He can never stay healthy.
But the bottom line to me is this, though. Anthony Davis has proven to be soft. He's proven to be soft. And he wears those jorts. It's always going to come back to these jorts. Like, it just is, Sam Flannel. Look at that.
I know.
And tell me that's one of the greatest one of the greatest big men. No.
One of the greatest big men of the modern era.
No.
I mean, of like the past 5 or 10 years. Oh,
No.
come on. Of the past 5 or 10 years.
He wore those jorts within the past 5 or 10 years. That cancels out anything you do.
He was also a 4-time first-team All-NBA.
I think the championship and those jorts cancel each other out.
Oh, so now he doesn't have a championship.
I'll take
oh
the
my
jorts,
God.
but he didn't wear the jorts. But he didn't wear the jorts either.
Oh my goodness.
He didn't wear the jorts either. So in the court of public opinion, it goes up.
You're insane. You should be medicated.
What are you talking about? If I wore jorts like that, I should be medicated.
It cancels out a championship. Okay.
It does.
Oh,
but
my
show
goodness.
the picture again.
You guys are
Those jorts cancel out a championship, Flannel.
a championship.
They do.
28, 10, and 4 on peak Kevin Durant
Those jorts
efficiency.
with that sweater.
And it's bad. It was one.
And
It's
the
bad.
tube socks.
And the tube socks.
Who's better, Anthony Davis or Dwight Howard?
All time.
All time.
They're right on each other's level. I think
I'm
Anthony Davis.
surprised he went. I thought he was going to snap and say Davis.
Because Dwight Howard is another player who gets criminally undervalued.
He does.
All time.
Yes.
He does. I agree with you.
I think they're both top 50 players for the record, about the same time. All right, 5th down.
All right, real quick.
All right, given this great playoff run that Jamal Murray has been on, if he finishes it off and they win a championship, is Jamal Murray the second best second option in the NBA?
He would be as important as any other one because it does ride out. It still remains the same. If he rolls out and shoots 3 of 16 in the finals game, they're going to lose that game.
That's true.
Like they are.
So who's the best second option in the NBA?
All right, I actually gave a couple names. I think he's actually worse still than Paul George, Jaylen Brown, Anthony Davis, and Devin Booker.
What about? Yeah, I was gonna say Devin Booker or
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, whoever you decide.
Yeah.
is the
Yeah,
second
no,
option.
he wouldn't be the best. Can you imagine if Jokic had if he had Devin Booker?
Yeah. I mean, Jamal Murray, don't get me wrong, he literally averaged 30 on 50, 40,
Yeah.
90 shooting splits in the Western Conference Finals. First person
And
ever to do
it's
that.
funny because I get tweets from people from time to time. They're like, "What about Jamal Murray now, Neal?" And I said, "Yeah, it's exactly what I told you. If he plays well, they'll win a championship."
They're unbeatable.
He
if he plays
always
like
balls
that.
in the playoffs,
He does.
too. It's
His
crazy.
playoff numbers, they skyrocket. But
Yeah.
also, what also is fair about Jamal Murray is he has never made an All-Star team, and he's only averaged 20 points per game
He's
or more in a
never
season.
made an All-Star team?
Never. And he's only averaged 20 points per game or more in a season twice. Something that you don't realize until you look it up.
Here's what I do realize. Planet Fitness is goated in the gym game. That's right, $1 down, $10 a month for access to your home club. If you're a baller, the Black Card option is out there for you. Just $24.99 a month. You basically own Planet Fitness. You can go to any one of the 2,400 of them around the world. That includes over 50 of them in the Metro Detroit area. If you're working somewhere, like you're out in Novi or whatever, boom, there's one out there. There's one everywhere. Planet Fitness. I know, when we do our remote shows, I slide through a different Planet Fitness, never have a problem. It's awesome. Tons of cardio equipment. When there's an idiot on the treadmill for an hour, I don't know who that would be, but if there is, it doesn't matter. There's an army of treadmills out there. Guys, look, some of you are paying $50, $60, $70 a month for your gym because they have a rock wall. Like, come on, guys. Planet Fitness has everything you need. Trust me, I've been a member for 3 years. Couldn't be happier. I love working out at Planet Fitness. Very cool thing they're doing, too. The high school summer pass. High schoolers ages 14 to 19 can work out for free all summer long from May 15th to August 31st. Go to planetfitness.com for more information. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Back at it, coming down the stretch here on the Getaway Friday. Spenmo's already mentally punched out, right?
Yeah. I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
That's right. Yeah, I thought you weren't going to be in.
I wasn't, but I decided to be a nice guy.
But you're a team player.
I'm a team player.
Appreciate you, Spenmo. Appreciate you. Big package Friday. We've been putting these packages out on the table all afternoon long. I don't know how much more this table can take up here. There's been a lot of packages set out here today. There has been. We've been doing them all. Real quick, woodwardsports.com, chat, thread, some reaction, GW the Kid. Jokic with Mitchell, that would be crazy. GW the Kid, I was told Donovan Mitchell stinks and that he would never fit here with the Pistons.
I don't know if they said he stinks, but...
Yeah, they did. They did.
Well, if you actually said that, you're a moron.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell's the man.
Yeah. He wasn't good in the playoffs, though, were a little bit of a... Wasn't very good in the playoffs this year, but still, obviously, Donovan Mitchell's great.
He got Cleveland to the playoffs. What, they were 5 seed, right?
Yeah.
They were the 4.
4 seed.
That bubble series of Utah-Denver when him and Jamal Murray were dropping 50 on each other's heads.
No, that was fun.
That shit was awesome.
Yes.
One of the best playoff series I've ever seen.
I agree.
Lucky Belafonte says a rock wall, LOL. It's true. So, there's somebody in this chat that's paying $60 a month for their gym membership, and the stupid place has a rock wall.
Yeah.
There is. I know there is.
Oh, for sure.
I never understood that. Never understood that. But, whatever. All right, it's time to drop the puck. That is right. The NHL nickel package, the 5 for Fighting, inspired by one Darren McCarty. Number 1, Vegas versus Florida, probably.
Yeah.
See, Dallas isn't going to come back because they got to play 2 of those games on the road.
Sure.
So they're not coming back. But Vegas versus Florida, probably. Sam Flannel, is that good for the NHL or not?
Of course it's not good for the NHL. We want to see, I would personally rather see, as somebody who would maybe be considered a casual, certainly not an elite, I would rather see original 6 style teams. I would rather have seen Toronto and Edmonton. I will admit it. I know that that series has some star power with guys like Matthew Tkachuk and Jack Eichel, but I don't think it's good for the NHL. I don't think it's going to get a casual fan involved. But Hockey Elite will like it, but I'm not Hockey Elite.
I will say yes because it's 2 glamour cities. It catches people attention to say South Florida and Las Vegas.
Okay.
And like on the social channels and everything like that, I do this a lot where I like the beginning of the broadcast too. They'll show like shots of the cities and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of dorky, I know, but I do like it. I love UFC. When they have that drone that flies above the strip, that's dope, dude.
That shit is dope.
Yeah, like I love it. So I think because they're glamour cities, if they weren't going to be, because guess what? No regular sports fan in America can name a player on the New York Rangers, despite the fact that it's the New York Rangers. They can't.
Yeah.
They'd be more likely to name a Panther than they would, or a Vegas Golden Knight, than they would a New York Ranger.
That's
they
also
would.
fair.
Jim Sports fan in Butte, Montana, could not name you one person, and it's New York.
I get that. And you know what, Neal? You actually kind of made me think a little bit with the glamour cities, with the shots of the city and people around the arena before the game. I like that stuff too. So I'm not changing my answer per se, but you made me think. I get where you're coming from.
Ryan's reaction says, have you seen Vegas since COVID? Ryan, I went there in January. That place is as insane as it's ever been. Let's just say
to Vegas.
That's criminal. That is absolutely. Spenny, you know how I like to say, like, generally a man like you would do very well in a spot?
Yeah.
You would not do very well in Las Vegas. It's a bad matchup. It's a textbook definition of a bad matchup.
I feel like I'd have a good time.
No, you would have a good time.
Yeah.
You just would not do well.
I wouldn't get wrapped up in the gambling either, though. Like, I mean, obviously you'd have to gamble a little bit, but I'm not like a crazy gambler.
There's no closing.
It never stops.
It never
the
stops.
mail never stops.
There's nobody to say, all right, Spenny, that's enough. Like, you walk out of a bar and it's daylight.
That sounds like a good time.
And you're like, what the hell happened?
Sounds like a good time to me.
And then you go back and you sleep for like an hour, and then you get up and you do it again, and then you walk out of a bar again, and it's daylight again. You're like, what? Spenny, you would not do well there.
I'm trying to go to Vegas.
No, you need to. It's both. It's both. Both things are true. You would not do well there, but you have to go there. All right, let me cook through these here. Number 2, are you rooting for the Panthers in the Stanley Cup Finals?
Yeah.
Are they America's team?
Yeah, I'm rooting for them. I like Tkachuk and I like Bobrovsky. I think that's a really, really good story. Kind of the coming of age of Matthew Tkachuk. Even though he was already a great player, this is a great playoff run, and Bobrovsky has just been on a heater as a goalie. I think they're the more fascinating and tantalizing watch.
BMG, Big Mike Gentry. Who you rooting for?
I think Vegas is going to end up pulling it off, but I am rooting for Florida because I like the whole Cinderella story. And I do agree with what Sam said on the first question. The casuals may not like this because it isn't those big-name markets, but it's been great hockey the whole way, so who gives a fuck what they like?
Spenny, are you rooting for the... You are, right?
Yeah, I like Chuck. Obviously, Bob's been playing very well, and everybody likes the Cinderella story, so I'd like to see him do it as the 8 seed.
And they're like my B team.
Yeah.
Like we know I have a thing for some of the South Florida teams. They're like my B team. But with all that being said, I want the Maple Leaf fans to have to watch a Stanley Cup parade that starts at like a off-brand smoothie center in a strip mall. It goes down the road and ends at another strip mall that has a liquor store and a Botox center.
Hell yeah.
Like you can literally get your Botox done and then turn around and go next door and buy liquor. Yeah, 100%. There would be nothing more than South Florida. And I want there to be like 111 people there.
That's what it's all about.
Like gaps where there's no people and stuff like that. And I want Toronto fans to have to choke on that. I do. Number 3, right here, right now, how far away from the Panthers are the Red Wings?
The Red Wings are farther away from the Panthers than they are from making the playoffs. I think that they are closer to teams like Buffalo and the Senators and Pittsburgh than they are to the Panthers. I think that they are going to be a better regular season team moving forward, and the 8th seed was kind of an anomaly.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot in the last few. And it's been very sobering to me. Like when you walk out of the bar and it's daylight, and you're like, wow, you know how you like snap into it? That's what this playoffs. The Florida Panthers needed a minus 500 favorite to lose to get into the playoffs. Like that team that's out there with those guys, with Tkachuk, maybe the best American player in the game right now.
Austin Matthews. I mean, he was born in California. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
I think Matthews is still better, but you know what? That's neither here nor there.
Right, whatever. You get my point.
Yes.
So, that's... I want that. I want that. I need that. But I just don't think that the Wings are at that level. And they're not close. They're not close.
They're not close to the Panthers.
They're not as close as I thought they were.
That's fair.
I believe that's a fair statement, too. Number 4. So, are you accepting of the Vegas South Florida Stanley Cup Finals? Are you accepting of it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I already went into acceptance mode earlier.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun to watch. Tkachuk is having a great playoff run to cap off a great regular season, and Bobrovsky's on an all-time great goalie heater. And I think that the Vegas Knights with Jack Eichel, I'm gonna tune in. Would I rather have more big name teams? Sure, but like BMG said, it's good hockey.
No, it is. Let's take the final break and come back and really lick the stamp and mail this one in. I got a tea time. I got to get out of here. So I don't give a shit. Like, tell them about Guardian Alarm. Let's get the hell out of here.
All right, it's a new year. Like Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Call them at 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
One more time for the people in the back. 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out of the finals, Miami Heat. The Boston Celtics are coming back and winning this thing, like I said.
Stay out of Stanley Cup Finals, Hurricanes. It's a good run. Go Canes.
Stay out of MLB Chicago White Sox. Can we relegate them? They're awful.
They blow.
Call Guardian
Alarm. Your local security experts.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
We made it. Final segment of the show. Big D Energy on a Big Package Friday. Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for Darren McCarty. Spencer Raxter and his package are here. BMG here as well. Appreciate BMG tapping in to the show. Peaceful Tim. Love you, Neal. Hollywood Blue Sparty. How are your furnaces, Neal? They've been fine. They kicked on. They kicked on last night. It had to
I
be.
slept with the windows down or windows open last night. Slept like a fucking rock.
I bet, man. I bet. The Booner Sports Show. What are you going to shoot today, Neal? It'll be the same. Probably, I would say 80% of the rounds I shoot, 85% of the rounds I shoot are in the low 80s, and I'll clip into the 70s every now and then.
That's
so
good. It's really good.
If I get away with mistakes, I'll shoot in the 70s.
Must be nice.
Yeah, like there's going to be 2 skanked shots.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I don't know where it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. If I get away with those and it's just like skanked forward, like not into the water or not into the woods, we can recover.
Skanked package.
Make an 8-footer for par and move on. So that's the way that it works. I will say this. It'll be a little compromised because usually I determine the agenda 3 holes into the round. And there's 2 agendas. We're playing golf for the score, or we're going to get into the extracurriculars.
Yeah.
And by hole 3, if I'm 3 over by hole 3, like if I've made 3 bogeys, we're going to veer off and we're going to the other agenda.
That's fair.
If we're 1 over through 3, we're really going to lock in and try to, make it a good round.
Yeah.
So if we're 2 over through 3, we delay the decision till the next hole.
That's fair.
That's exactly how it works.
If I'm 3 over through 1, I'm feeling good.
Yeah. Sound Kayak says, you care, Neal. I do. No, I care. It's just in 2 minutes, I'm out of here. What do you got popping, Sam Flannel?
Well, I'm actually in the sound booth for the final word after this.
Big time.
Big time. Yeah. But the weekend is probably just going to be a really fun weekend with the wife. Lots of grilling, lots of maybe go out to eat a time or two, maybe explore some parks. Good times. What about you, BMG?
I'm doing my fair share of golfing over the weekend. I'm going to hang out.
You're playing twice.
Yes.
You're an animal.
I am. I probably will play more than twice, honestly, but hanging out with the fam, golfing, grilling, same old.
What you got, Spenmo?
I'm going to take the dogs to Stony on Sunday. Me and my friends are going to take the dogs down to Stony, and then my friend's having a barbecue on Monday, so I'm going to go over there for it.
There it is. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Wyatt Bear says, Detroit City's Butcher Cut Bourbon at Keyworth. Detroit City Distillery is a solid play as well. But yeah, can't wait. I'm excited, and we are going to do it. Mark McCormick, bust out the bourbon. It will come into play at some point. Could very well happen tonight. We will see. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock, Channel 20, Detroit City FC, Birmingham Legion out there and at Keyworth. Run on out there if you can. If not, tap in on TV 20. And we're going to do it. That's it. I think we've done all the damage we can do. Appreciate y'all tapping into the show. For Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, BMG, Big Mike Gentry, I'm Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Big Package Friday, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.
Package.